Let's uh let's make sure we're live for the YouTube folks. I see K Lamp in the chat. Here we go. We are live. We're live on both sides. Holy cow, guys. 15 of y'all just waiting for me to talk baseball? This is my dream come true. I see K Lamp in the chat. It is almost time for baseball. I'm hyped. I'm so hyped. Thank you guys for joining me. Smash the like button if you haven't already. I would appreciate that very much. Bob wants to know who to buy. I will tell him. Um, wow, guys, that's really dope. What's going on with the weather? I don't know. Wow, I'm like overwhelmed. Normally with the NBA stuff, I just dive into everything, and I guess I should at least tweet that we're live, huh? Wow, you guys rock. Thank you for being here. I only got 30 minutes or whatever this time. I should probably make quick use of it, or good use of it, rather. Um, but instead, I'm just really happy. We are live. Okay. What's up, everybody? Welcome. Um, who's got questions? I'm super hyped. Let me. I'm like really overwhelmed. I'm really moved by this. Let me circle around to the projections and we'll look at those. If you watched the video earlier today, you saw that whole thing with the Mariners, and I was like, I don't think this is projecting right. Maybe the Mariners are too high, and it turned out they were. So let's actually look at the spreadsheet of doom, the spreadsheet of death, the spreadsheet of wonder. Now it's all Guardians, and that concerns me for two separate reasons. One, the Guardians' offense has not been very impressive, and two, there is a rain situation in is it the DMV? We got rain in is it DC or is it in Cleveland? It would make sense if there's rain in Cleveland at this time of the year. 13% chance of rain tonight. Why is this not telling me if it's... One of y'all probably already answered me in the chat. You didn't. Where y'all at? Bob, I will get to your question very, very shortly. I'm just trying to find out where the hell this game is being played. Weather report. Possible rain out or delay. Philly at Cincy, actually. 43% chance of rain. I'm not too concerned about that. Okay, so they're at the Nationals. I'm not going to look up weather for DMV tomorrow, but I know. Okay, so on RotoWire it says 75% chance. The nice thing about if something's rained out on Saturdays, they'll probably play a doubleheader on Sunday because I doubt the Guardians come back to Washington. Being a interleague game, I doubt that one actually gets washed out. But that said, there is risk to playing all of these Guardians that you see here. So, all right. Wow, guys, y'all rock. Again, if you're new here, let me do the plug real quick. Smash the like button. Incredibly, incredibly helpful. Subscribe to the channel, all of that. I'm buying time. $5 for projections, $10 for projections in our incredible Discord, patreon.com/SorareFB. Guys, the Discord, the value is unmatched. The people in there, I talked about it earlier today on the first one. We had two wins, not podiums, not reward, wins, number one spots. The first two game weeks, I think we had the same, at least one in game week 3, and then this past game week, we were pretty darn close. So, $10 for the Discord. If you haven't joined already, it's incredible. Have these guys in the chat. They're in there, and Blake says, "Where's the say hey?" I gave it to you on when I hit the original. I don't know how my stream works for what it's worth. I got the Riverside studio, and that starts broadcasting, and then I have to click something on YouTube, and so I don't know if the say hey didn't make it, but I apologize. I appreciate the attention to detail, Blake. You're the man. Um, Who's Downtown 12 says it's lovely in Cleveland. Isn't it always? All right, Bob. Julio or Jordan? You asking long term? Or are you asking short term? That's the first question. Long term, I think Julio can get to the point where he hits as many homers as Jordan and steals more bases. So that's my feeling there. But um, yes, Bob says the question is for the larger group chat, so let him know. Um, was worried when I had J.P. Crawford one of my priority lineups. Yeah, I actually swapped him. I had him in my number one priority lineup, which is so rare, All Star. I had him as my starting middle infielder. So, um, yeah, I was glad to swap him out with MJ Melendez, who is facing Atlanta, and it's probably not going to get much better. Sadly, only have two options in infield this week and need to choose between JT Real Muto and MJ Melendez. Just talking about Melendez. All right, let's look at the projections. First and foremost, MJ Melendez actually 65th in the projections. Projects super well on Sunday. I don't know why. I think that's Kyle Wright. And what that probably is a small sample size on Kyle Wright. He got battered the first time out. And then let's see, Real Muto. Catcher always runs the risk of sitting. He's got a nice projection as well. Another great Sunday projection. I don't know what's up with these Sunday projections, but there's a chance he sits one in there. That scares me. Melendez, if he catches, he's going to sit one too. So honestly, I would go Real Muto at Cincinnati and just pray you get 3 games out of him. Maybe DH is one, but I think Melendez probably sits two, and the matchup's much worse. Sam the Sniper swapped Wander Franco today for Jose Ramirez. All right, hell yeah, yeah. Ramirez, as you see, is 10 points clear of any other projecting player for this week, and I'm sure he'll back it up. Guardians are a risk because of rain, and yeah, the offense has been poor. I could probably back that up, and I will, as we're going to head over to where I really want to be spending my time, and that's Baseball Savant. So let me pop over there. Okay. So, when does John Birdie break out? Is he playing? I think I started him in a lineup, so not this week because of that. John Birdie's expected to hit ninth for Miami. Who's hurt? Someone's hurt in Miami. One of their million infielders. It's not Segura. Arias is at second. Yeah, I don't know. It must be their shortstop, whoever that is. I don't pay attention to the Marlins. But yeah, we're hoping for a Birdie breakout here soon. Steals galore. Okay, so I wanted to back up whether or not the Gardos were actually not hitting the ball well. Oh, he's leading off. I haven't seen that yet. Marcus says, can the game be canceled due to rain or they just play worse? Both. The games can get canceled due to rain if you're new to baseball. Happens quite often. And it's just a matter of when they replay the game. Sometimes it'll be late, way later in the year, and they'll play 2 games in one day. Sometimes, if it's late enough in the year and the game doesn't matter, then they'll just cancel the game and the team will play 161 in the course of the season. And it doesn't matter. Castillo, Bautista, Ramirez, Bichette, Jordan Walker, Nolan Arenado, and Vlad. That's a pretty darn good common lineup. Is it Wendell who's hurt? I could have looked, but it's Miami. Yeah, Wendell is hurt. Some dude named Carlos Santiago is suspended. Okay, so here are your expected WOBA leaders. Y'all know I love that. Let's actually go to expected statistics. Go by team. So I said the Guardians offense isn't looking too hot. Yeah, look, they're 308. You know, there's there's a bottom tier and it's the Tigers. And then there's a second bottom tier that I would probably say is in, I don't know, you could take it as high as you wanted. Maybe here. Like these teams are pretty rough. Kansas City, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Arizona, Texas, Chicago, Miami. I can't believe the Phillies are down here this low. That's rough. They they're one of my main stacks, and they have not been doing what I need them to until Kyle Schwarber hit a home run last night. But um, yeah, they've been kind of sad. Do I still think Mitch Haniger will be strong when he comes back? Eh, eh, I don't know. So he's with the Giants, and Michael Conforto has been playing very well. They still got Jock Peterson, so that's not going to matter because that'll be a platoon situation. Let's see. Just getting their at bats. Yeah, so there's Yaz and Conforto. They're soaking up a lot of. Yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know what to make of Haniger. Um, like he's not going to take Peterson's spot. Because they're both lefties. So maybe one DHs, but I don't know what JD Davis is doing. Third base probably. Crawford at short. Estrada at second. And then I think Lamont Wade's playing first and outfield most of the time. Is Peterson hurt? Oh, he's just been off against lefties. So yeah, Lamont at first. Conforto's been playing regardless of the splits. So I would say he's pretty locked in. Peterson's there. Yeah, Yaz is in center. Blake Sable in left. All right. So there you go. Wait, has he been catching? He's the backup catcher slash left fielder. Is that a real thing? JD Davis on the bench, playing a lot of third and DH. Okay, so yeah, you got Davis at third who could push. Oh, I don't even know David VR is. Wow, this is a mess. I don't know. My answer to Antonin, your ask about, or no, you said Jock Peterson. Blake, your answer about Mitch Haniger. He is here, right? Yeah. I don't know. Strained oblique is bad, by the way. That's a rough injury, but like these lineups are all over the place. There's nothing set with them, so I don't know what to tell you. Apparently, Lamont Wade is not hitting lefties either, but Haniger's a lefty, so that doesn't really help. Bob wants to know if he's replacing Shohei with J Rod, like today. You could. He's projecting better. So J Rod's the third highest projected, and then Otani's 12th. So at that point, if guys are projecting that closely, I like to just look at the matchups. And frankly, I don't know who's playing who. Like I mentioned. Who we got? Boston, not great for lefties. And then, yeah, the Rockies at Seattle. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I would just go with J Rod because he's projecting well, but like it's one of those where if you get it wrong, it might hurt. If you get it right, probably gonna be happy because they're both gonna be bopping. Hey, Miguel's in the chat. Miguel wanting to know where Bob's gonna play his J Rod so he can play his best lineup somewhere else. Starting pitchers for Common are DeGrom, Garrett Cole, Strider, and Castillo. Do I swap one and try to get an outfielder? I don't know, man. I don't know, Sam. Um, it's good to have depth at Common. Also, how do you have all these Commons already? You must have been killing Common. I've I got a I got some dope. I traded him in immediately to get Matt Brash because I don't have enough Matt Brash cards. Yeah, I don't know. What is Jordan Walker up to? I know he's right there. Didn't even have to make me search. Huh. All right. He's pulling the ball apparently. Yeah, if your only outfielder is Jordan Walker, then I don't think you want to rely on a 20-year-old. Um, but it's like, who do you get rid of there? Castillo's probably technically on paper the worst pitcher. um, DeGrom might fall apart later. Strider had a rough week. I mean, maybe. I don't know. That's tough. I mean, like, how do you pull the plug on any of those guys? You don't want to get rid of Bichette or Vlad because you got some team up there. Yeah, I don't know, man. Common's kind of a dice roll. Um, I think honestly, I would pick one and do it depending on like try trading one in. Like we can do this right now, and you let me know who's there. Okay, yeah. So Castillo, you want to start Castillo, right? I mean, I still have Cole higher. Let me see. Let's pull this up. We doing common talk on the chat. We're doing it. All right. So here are the projections for the weekend. So ignore these two up here, Strom and Lugo. I mean, you can play them if you have them. But so you got Cole one out of the guys that you listed. I assume the other two aren't starting. I got Castillo all the way down here. Rockies are bad, and I probably just looked at the thing where it's like, oh yeah, the Rockies are in this bottom tier. But yeah, and like Minnesota's actually good. I don't know. I don't know. You're probably gonna get the best return by trading in one of those other guys. In which case, like I would just go with DeGrom. So, Sam, try and trade in DeGrom and let me know like who's there. Because I bet you get one outfielder max. Like I bet it tries to give you two other starters that you already have, and then someone at each position. Like you like that, Darvish and Mania, nice. Yeah, they project very well. Let's see. Oh, Manaya's got Detroit, right? He's in San Francisco now. You don't even have to think about that. Detroit is ass. Who's San Diego got? Milwaukee. All right, projects well. He's been doing well. Milwaukee, not who I necessarily want to target. Let's see. Javi, Javi versus Profar. Um, oh, I'm on pitchers. That's why. Yeah, that's a tough one, huh? You don't know if Javi's gonna miss pimp a home run and then go home. That's a terrible projection, and that's projecting him all 3 days. So that's not a great start. And then Profar. Profar projects better. Is he just playing against lefties? I don't know. I don't know what Profar has been doing. I don't love that ballpark. Yeah, I mean Profar set the lead off. I will never advocate playing Javi Baez. I think he's horrible. Yandy Diaz is incredible. Play Yandy. You want to see? We did this in the chat. So like, let me answer Miguel, and then I'm going to get to you. Let me answer Miguel really quick, just because I got the spreadsheet open. Um, he says Hunter Brown, Castillo, or Pablo Lopez. Hunter Brown's way up here. Pablo's just a little bit below. And then Castillo is. Did I miss Castillo? Oh, he's just above. So yeah, Hunter Brown barely. So like, what are the matchups? All right, so Brown's got Texas. That's nice. Seattle's got Colorado. That's also nice. And then what do we say for the Twins? Yankees. I'd probably stay away from Pablo to be honest. So yeah, we were talking earlier on the Yandy Diaz thing. Josh Bell was projecting very well, and someone asked, "Do I play Josh Bell or do I play Yandy Diaz?" And This is this was an incredible exercise, and I'll show it to you, Antonin, um, about why you don't always just go for what the projections say. This is like, if I have a question and the projections don't they're not clear and the matchup isn't clear, I'll head over here to Baseball Savant and I will check this out. All right, so Josh Bell projecting very high. Great matchup. Great storyline going back to where he played most of his career. Look at those numbers. Let me just zoom in for you here. Blue is bad. He's walking plenty. He's taking pitches, but like his quality of contact is just garbage. He is not. His one moment this year with the Guardians was a walk-off little dribbler, and you can see why here. Yandy Diaz, meanwhile, you will see quite the opposite kind of chart. Hey-oh. So this, to me, this is an IKB for me. This is yeah, Josh Bell projects well, but Yandy Diaz is absolutely torturing the ball. I mean, 96th percentile expected WOBA, but he's finally lifting the ball. Look at the past 50 plate appearances, above league average. This is a man on fire. So projections-wise, we got Josh Bell at 32, and we got Yandy at 24. Could Josh Bell outperform Yandy Diaz? Yeah, probably. If he decides that this is the week that he's gonna, like actually put the bat on the ball, fine. But this is actual data. This is what Yandy is actually doing, and I would play him for that reason. Sam, did you try to swap that DeGrom at all? I'm interested to see what they might give you. So let's see. We got what, 8 minutes till lock? Any other lineup questions we got? Yeah, we got 8 more minutes. I got my lineups in. Some of them I like, some of them I don't. I'm just trying to decide who to spend my ETH on. I'm trying to decide. I've been battling for a Vlad Guerrero rare, but also there are a couple of super rares. I want to say so rares. They're all so rares. A couple of super rares on the market that I do want to go after. I just don't think I have the firepower for it. I'd love to grab Willy Adames. The homer in me wants to go for Andres Jimenez. I don't know that I have enough for either of them. Same with Zach Wheeler. Would love that top end talent. I just don't have the top end ETH available. There's a Yandy Diaz super rare available. If you're into buying high. Alec Bohm, Alec Thomas. Not a lot. Yeah, then Andres Jimenez. But I think he might actually expire after Vlad, but that's where I'm looking. I'm really tied up on the 3 of those. I'll end up with like Anthony Rendon or something. All right, got some chats. Chapman over Bell. Oh, man, maybe. I mean, yeah, you want to talk about a guy who's on fire. Check out Matty Chap's chart. It's even better than Yandy's. Yeah, I think you could probably if you don't have other Guardians in your lineup and you don't want to stack, this looks like a guy you might want to get in your lineup. I believe he is okay. Sorry, Sam. Yeah, you can't do that already, but oh yeah, keep him. Oakland Royals. Yeah, that's tough. I don't know how you're gonna make the decision, but yeah, okay. We got some things to check. Yeah, I would just play Chapman over Bell unless you have some correlation going on, because this man's insane. Okay, back to Kellenic. I don't believe is projecting that high now. He's 35th, so not low, Like these Seattle guys are still populating in there. He's a fine outfield option if you have him. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So he's like the 15th best outfielder, but like most of these guys who are ranking are outfielders. Muncy, Abreu, Paredes, or Semien? Muncy, 43rd. Abreu, 82nd. Paredes, 115. And Semien, 165. So you actually listed them in the order that I would say. And also Muncy's on fire and Semien is just garbage. I love Marcus Semien, but he's been horrible. All right, got to work through these. Bichette, Rosario, or India. I know Rosario projects the best. Bichette is home against the Rays. Two lefties. You know I love Bo. And then India is actually 59th. So like if you think Ahmed Rosario is actually worth being the 5th highest projected guy, like that's what the projections say, but I'd have to look at Bo against lefties. I lean Bo because I love Bo. Springer or Devers? Probably Devers. Ooh, Devers is projecting pretty rough. It's looking like Springer for me. It's looking rough for Devers. Who do they play? They just facing lefties? Boston? Who we got? Boston versus LA? Who's pitching for them? I got to get through a couple more. Trevor Williams or Azuna? That's tough. They are all lefties. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, go Springer. Definitely Springer. It's a good thing he's facing lefties. Anything else in the chat? Trevor Williams or Azuna? I'm going to look really quick, and I'll just zero out Ozuna and break my computer. 17. You talking Trevor Williams, the pitcher? That's a flex spot question. I've never got a pitcher versus. Ozuna still projects better. I don't think Trevor Williams has a ton of upside. Okay, and then you said you asked about Semien garbage. I love Marcus Semien. He projects incredible this year. His price is super low, but look at this chart. It's going to look like Josh Bell's. It kind of works. Great fielder, very fast, hitting the ball horribly. So the way he's performing and his age are going to drive that price down. I think he's great. I think if you can pair him with Corey Seager and play them as a middle infielder flex, I think over the course of the year that's going to be great. But right now, Semien has been bad. So I love him, but he's been garbage. Long term, I like him. But all right, so we're up against it. That's all the questions. If you have any questions, I'll stick around for a second. If you have any like long-term questions, if you want to look at projections for next week, we can do that really quick. As a matter of fact, I will, even though I'm pretty sure my pitcher projections are broken at the moment. So we'll look at hitters. Pitcher projections for next week are broken. Yes, good luck, everybody. Thank you guys so much. Like, this is more engagement than we got for any of the NBA shows, which is crazy to me because Sorare got more engagement for NBA. Please be loud, be vocal about. I mean, I'd love if you were loud and vocal about Sorare FP in the show. I love doing it. I love our community, but please spread the gospel of this game, guys. This is the best fantasy sports experience that exists in my mind, and I love it so much. I'm so glad to be sharing this time with you guys. It makes me so happy. You have no idea. I've been looking forward to this all day. So thank you for joining me. I see some people are filing out. Um, you say Blake says any chance you'll have a show about a progression guide? Can you ask a little bit more about what you might want there? I think that's a great idea. And if you're here and you don't know how to do that already, or you don't have an idea of that, I am more than happy to answer those questions and put together something in the future. So leave me a little bit in the chat, and we can talk about that. But yeah, before I'm done, before I get out of here and go play MLB The Show and stream a game, if you have anything long term, you can ask me that as well before we get out of here. And I'm also going to take a look at next week's hitter projections as it stands. Where are you? There we go. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yes, I got Sean Manaea projecting pitching twice next week, so that's not going to work. So let's look at hitters next midweek. I'm pretty sure the Pirates look good. I'm pretty sure the Dodgers look good. Yeah, Dodgers, Schwarber. Oh yeah, the Cubs. The Cubs are still popping. I'm not sure what that's all about, but they look really good projection wise. So I'll leave this on the screen so y'all can kind of check it out and maybe start to plan ahead, maybe make some purchases. But snowballing rewards and moving up from 1 to 2 rares to more full lineups. So let's see. I mean, snowballing rewards is all about playing the right guys and getting the rewards. That you don't need my advice on. I've done a lot, Blake, with um, I've done a lot with seller hold with rewards. And you can find plenty of my videos doing that. I'll show you how I do that really quick in case you haven't seen them or whatever, and I'll just keep it quick in case you have. But basically, you get this with the $10 subscription. Rest of season projections, I'm going to share them with you right now. I mean, this is like very useful stuff. Um, I have all the prices in here. I have I'm not breaking formulas. Um, I obviously have the projected scoring, and then I keep the prices updated and I divide the points by the ETH it costs. And then like I can identify like right here, I see an 18 Marcus Semien. There you go. Schwarber, Bregman. These are all guys at the rare level who are great. So the other thing I do to help build my gallery, or I did last year before I started focusing on other things, is by other things I mean like more elite values and like actually buying super rares. So like I'm just going to find a random person who, okay, so I see Jerks and Profar right here. His price is 0.019. I see a lot of prices around him that they vary a ton, but this is sorted by scoring over the course of the year. So Profar is going to score just about the same as Tyro Estrada and Tim Anderson. Estrada is a little bit cheaper. Anderson is way more expensive. So Estrada is a little more expensive rather than Profar, and Anderson is way more expensive. If I want to do the right thing, Profar is an outfielder, so I'll use Buxton, who projects or is costing way more, and Bellinger, who is costing a little more. What this says to me is that if I sell Jerks and Profar, I'm not going to be able to get a player at the same rate unless I go up here to Salvi Perez, but you don't want to do that. This says he's a good value and he's a hold. On the other end, what I see up here is Jazz Chisholm, because of the hype currently and because he didn't have cards, because he's on the cover of the show, because he's very exciting. See how his price is way higher than everyone else in his projection range? Like that's an auto sell. I want a Jazz Chisholm card so bad. I love Jazz. I would have so much fun watching him and playing him in my lineups. But the fact that I could sell him, what else could I get for 102? Like for 102 as a rare, I could get Marcus Semien, or I could get Schwarber or Bregman and still have cash left over. So that doesn't mean you can't buy a Jazz Chisholm when his price comes back down. But like if I won him in this moment, I would sell him and I would probably go get the Simeon that I've wanted for so long, or just add that ETH to my gallery and get something else. So that's how you build a gallery is you recognize the values, you sell the excess value, and you find the guys who are projecting well. So once you start to do that, and once you get a couple of players that you're like, all right, I'm going to hold this player for a long time, what you then start doing is start trying to find stacks. So if you do go get, say in this case, Semin, you win Jazz, you sell Jazz for 0.102, you buy Marcus Semien for 0.065. You either work up to be able to afford a Corey Seager at 0.082, or I mean, you're already close with the excess value that you kept by selling Jazz. You're like 0.017 away from Adolis Garcia, who I believe hits very closely in the lineup to Semien. Let me actually check that so I can keep this kind of rolling because I don't want to give you a bad recommendation. I know you're not doing this right now, but so Semien hits first, Josh Smith hits behind him, and Nate Lau hits behind him. So, or Garcia, and right. So it would be Lau or Garcia if you didn't want to go get Seager. So, Nate Lau, 0.056. That's too much. You could get Garcia for that. Yeah. So maybe that's not the best example, but that's how you do it. That's how you build a gallery. Um, when you win, you should be looking to shave off excess value and get the most out of what you have. Every win is money in the bank. Sometimes it's realized value, and sometimes it's potential value that you realize by making good deals. Sorare MLB is a lot different than NBA. And NBA moves super fast. It doesn't move the same. If you have these tools, if you have these projections, you can realize where you can make moves and find extra hidden money and then build out your team that way. So from there, let's see, you've won a player, you've shaved off some value, you've built a tiny stack. It doesn't have to be top of the lineup, it doesn't have to be a great team, but yeah. So to answer your question, eventually I can try and put this into a guide. But that's where it starts. Once you start rolling rewards, or even if it's not a reward, like if you bought Brian Reynolds in the offseason, like I told you to, in the offseason, and then he comes out and he just hits, 5 dingers in the first 2 weeks, and all of a sudden his price is up 3 to 4 times what you paid for him, sell him. Like this is a long haul game. And Brian Reynolds is going to come back to earth. He scored 5 points this last game week after he scored 183 in the first two. That's going to happen. So realize your profits when you can get them. The only I used to move in and out of cards, and that was last year when all that existed was the 2022s, and you didn't lose XP for doing that. But like if you win cards and they're the 2023s and they're going to have, the 5% for the whole year, I think you can move on pretty easily from those and move in and out of cards and realize, value. If someone is popping off and he just doesn't make your lineup incredible in a week, you can sell him then. And it's all about realizing that value, selling at highs, buying at lows, stuff like that. So like Semien I brought up, I think he's gonna be fine. The projections think he's gonna be fine. I think he's worth taking a risk at this very low price that just stands out. Like if you just, I'm gonna make these show low is good here. Like look who stands out. It's him. It's Bregman. It's guys that I talked about. Whereas like Judge is way too high. And this is how you find value. It's very simple, but you need the tools, and you can make this fairly easily. This isn't an incredibly hard spreadsheet to make. Or you can just pay me $10 and jump in. Yeah, okay, cool. I'm glad that's helpful. If you can ask these questions all the time here, I'll be here as much as possible, but also $10 for an entire month, man. The Discord, there's 5, 6 people like me in there. and a ton more people who are learning. So I can't, like, I'm pitching it, yes, but people have said it's good for them, and we have a lot of winners, and I mean it when I say it, that it's really fun and good. So I'll be done with that. All right, a couple other things. Marcus, how important is matchup? For example, Kalinic was projecting better than Mookie Betts due to matchup. It's a call you have to make. Projections are always going to take matchup, pitcher, and ballpark into account, and that's why you get some of the projections that you do, and why when I looked at this week and the Mariners were popping off, why I was a little skeptical. Um, okay, so when you're mining for gold, the projections are a shovel. It's just a means to help. Um, it's just a means to help you realize the context that you know. So like if I look at that and I see Kelenic is projecting for 40 and Mookie Betts is projecting for 33, like I know what Mookie Betts can do. And unless he's facing, like Garrett Cole, Nestor Cortez, and a healthy Carlos Rodon, and I'm like, all right, like I don't need to run that gauntlet. Like you can kind of deduce that Kelenic is probably not as good a play as Betts. He might be. The variance is crazy. He might very well outperform him by 80 points. It could happen. You're going to see guys over the course of the year. You're going to be like, who the hell is that dude? And I think it was Christopher Morel from the Cubs last year did it twice. Like just led a game week, and you're like, this guy. And then he was in the minors by the end of the year. It's going to happen. Um, where you use Kellenic in that scenario is if you have other Mariners and they're projecting well. So like if you had all those guys that were projecting at the beginning of the day, yeah, you play that stack together because there's going to be correlation and you're going to like. So J Rod gets on, you played him. Kellenich comes up. Kellenich homers. He's going to get the RBI for J Rod, and you're also going to get the run for J Rod. You know what I'm saying? Like you're doubling up on that. So that's where the correlation comes into play. If you have Dodgers, you're absolutely playing bets in that scenario. I hope that makes sense. Pesca. I'm looking for a replacement for Seager until he gets back. Would Semien make sense? Because then I get to stack with. Yes. Yes, the hitting stats are bad, but like, yeah, this is a good time to buy him. If you have enough to buy him and someone else, maybe that's worth it. But like, he'll come out of it. He's too good a hitter. He's a veteran. He's not just all of a sudden going to be the worst hitter in the world. I think that's smart. Blake, anyway, I can pay through Sorare with extra ETH. Find me on Twitter at SorareFP or at Lex Hooper. Get a hold of me over there, and maybe we can try and work something out. I have similar arrangements going on, and they can be hard. Someone just paid me an ETH for the entire year, which if you do that, like, sure, we'll make it work. Um, it's just that you have to get a hold of some of these tools in a different way, and you have to like occasionally remind me. Although that guy, Zlatnor, he reminds me when I forget to post it in the exclusive chat for the the goats, the people who have helped the channel in other ways than subscribing over the course of the year. They have their own special chat and they get perks. And paying ahead can do that for you. So, okay, unless there are any other questions, I am going to go spend some time with my amazing wife. Um, and I'm gonna enjoy some baseball and hopefully finally crack some rewards. Adolis, Seager, Simeon, good stack. Yes, it's a good stack. Would it be my priority? Maybe not. But I love Seager. I don't know what he's been doing, or what he was doing before he got hurt. I was super excited about him. He was like my number one to buy list. Um, yeah, he was just pounding the ball. God, oh, I might have to go get a Corey Seager while he's hurt. Maybe buy low there, but um, yeah, I don't love Adolis long term. I don't have him as a great projector, and he's getting older. I know you're still looking at next week's projections, but Yeah, Garcia's 30 and he's hitting okay. Yeah, it's a good stack. If you can make it work for a decent amount of money, which I'm pretty sure they're solid. Um, I'm pretty sure it's a solid price. I think you can pull it off. I think it's a good stack. What do we got here? Phillies 1. Schwarber double, Trey Turner signal, baby. All right. All right. Here we go. That's what I like to see. I'm pretty sure both those boys are in my both in my good lineup, both in my all-star super rare. All right. Pascal, I don't think he's going to be out long. I think it's only a 15-day, right? And then thanks for checking in, buddy. Thanks for all the questions. You made this a lot more fun. These are way more fun when we get questions and get engagement. You were very helpful, so thank you. Hamstring 10 days. I popped my hamstring 2 weeks ago. I got a game on Sunday. I'm ready to play. I'll probably pop my hamstring again. I'll let you know. I'll let you know if me and Corey Seager is the same level of athletes. So if I can make it through my beer league baseball game on Sunday, he'll be back on a major league field soon, right? I'll let you know. I'll let you know. Estimated return a month from tomorrow. All right, maybe not. Maybe not. Estimated return May 15th. I don't love that. But maybe I'll buy. Maybe now's the time. All right, kids. Thank you. Thank you all so much. And for everyone who hung around, again, there are more people in here 15 minutes after lock than we had at peak NBA time. So thank you all so much. This has been a ton of fun. I can't wait to do it again. Monday's 11 a.m. lock, so 7 hours earlier than right now on the East Coast because of the Boston game. So make sure you get those lineups in early next week. Probably not going to be a live before lock then. Probably not, but maybe I can sneak in a Patriots Day special, huh? That would make my Monday, but my Monday is probably gonna be pretty hectic. And then probably an NBA live before lock Monday night. So, all right, y'all. Thank you again. This was a blast. I will talk to y'all next week. See ya. Go win some rewards.